Right.
You got the hip hop police on everybody's head. Right. You got this whole snitching thing taking place with the kid Tekashi who's about to get out of jail. Right. What's different now that you see when you look at what the young people is doing? What's it feels like the code is different in for some, but not all.
Well, you know what I realized with the internet, not just the internet, you could be who you want to be. It's no background check. Like I was saying, like it's certain artists who's quote unquote, I don't want to say whatever, but the point being is they're this person, that person, to where you couldn't lie before. You had to do a background check, or you couldn't be.
Well, people had to see
you. Yeah,
if you wasn't seen around.
That's a fact. They had to see you, or not even that. If you was like a janitor, and then you'd be like, "Yo, I'm a hustler," or whatever. They'd be like, "Nah, we ain't going for it." But you could do that now. You get what I'm saying? You could be whatever you want to be, who you want to be, and I'm not knocking that. I think that's dope. That people could come, like, yo, it's so dope to me that how social media makes stars, and you don't have to depend on people to co-sign you or build an artist from the ground up. You get what I'm saying? So it's way different. It's no consequences. Same thing we was talking about when you could say slick shit on the internet. Like, I tell niggas the internet's the only place where you could criticize a nigga for being broke, log off and eat a sugar sandwich. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want on there. So it's really no consequences with certain shit. And I can't really say, to answer your question, I can't really say how to fix it. I'm not saying fix it, but it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This nigga's working. This kid coming home, like you said, Tekashi, right? Yeah. This shit was like 15, 16 years ago. It would have been all hell broke loose. But what you gonna do? Like, what you gonna beat?
Well, it's almost like there's two sides to the game, right? Like next year, I think Schmurder comes home. Right. Schmurder took extra time so his boy could get less.
Right.
So you're gonna have that version. But then you also is gonna have this Tekashi thing. These are two different things, street shit handled differently.
Right.
Right? By two different individuals that are gonna put out music.
But it's very obvious when you look at it what happened. One was the illusion of the internet. I can pretend and it looks real. The Schmurda shit, those were real dudes on that you happened to capture.
Right.
So it's just two completely different people.
I agree with that, but it's just like it's kind of the artist was pretending.
Right. Around them wasn't.
They were eating. There was things happening.
Yeah, I got friends in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you find a wave, and these are people that made a lot of money with him. You know what I'm saying? 6ix9ine I'm talking about.
Moral of the story though is you should probably keep the streets away from your other business.
Absolutely, I'm 100%.
Moral of the story.
And if listen, my man Bang told me this shit a long time ago. You should, of course, now you can learn from people's mistakes, but coming into this shit, it ain't no instructions, bro. You don't get a guide and say this is the way it goes and this is the way you do it. Everybody got a different path to. There's no instructions to this shit, man.
Now, there were people, along your path who said, "My man, do this, don't do that," and you listened.
Right, absolutely. But let me tell you, that's another thing. Dame always say this about young niggas. Some niggas got the Gary Coleman syndrome, because if you the youngest nigga making money in your circle and niggas older than you, even though they got the best advice telling you what to do, why you ain't do that? Why you telling me what to do? You should have did this. So if you the youngest nigga in your crew, sometimes it's hard to take advice from niggas who ain't getting money because they didn't do shit to secure their future financially.
So I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the funny part is, some of those people actually do have good advice. They just weren't able to apply it to themselves.
100%. I would say 95% of the time, dumb people have great advice. But when you 20, 21 years old, 22, 23, 24, you don't really be wanting to hear it. It's like a few people now, niggas be wanting me to talk to niggas, and I'll be like, look, I know where I was there. I understand where they at. I'll go talk to them, but I understand where their mentality is at. You know what I'm saying? Because especially my situation, right? I came out of a fucked up situation in Epic. So when I got to Rockefeller, I bombarded that shit. If I had to fight, if I had to argue, if I had to beef, if I had to go yell at people and do whatever, I'm not Like, going back to that shit that just happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people come to me and be like, Cam, yo, remember you did this, did that? I'm like, nah, I really don't, because I'm in a whole different mindset. Every time I see Kenny Burns, every time, I don't know if we gonna have a fight or not. This nigga like, yo, Cam, remember you cursed me on Rockefeller off? And I'm like, nah, I don't, bro. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you was bad. I'm like, he tried to try to steal on me right now, you know what I'm saying? But every time I see him, he brings this shit up.
But just because you don't even remember from the state you were in at that point.
I really don't remember what Kenny Burns is talking about. And that's my man. You know, I'm just saying he brings it up. I ain't got no problem with him. But I was in a mind state to where I'm not going back to where the fuck I just came from. And whatever, by all means necessary, I'm going to get to where I had to go. Especially after learning how niggas was jerking me around the Epic. I'm like, when we got the Rockefeller beat, we lived in that shit. We moved in Def Jam. It was two big offices, two big walk-in closets with cubicles in front of them. I made niggas clear them shits out. I found the niggas who do electricity in building, put a phone line in there, and put desk in there, and because nobody was sitting there. It was two big walk-in closets. We turned them shits into offices, cubicles, and I got interns to work for us.
Just for you guys.
Film was a closet. I'm telling you, nobody was in there. I turned it into offices, and nigga Dame was like, yo, I know Kevin ain't give you no office. I said, this just was closets. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we in here, B. You know what I'm saying?
Now, was that energy what the situation? Because I never quite understood why you and Jay just seemed to be competition to me.
Right.
Where the two MCs with egos couldn't coexist in the same space. You was fighting, gunning. Right. For your thing, and you had Hov trying to hold his position and being a boss over there. Right. Is that what it was? It was Cam coming in basically like, yo, I'm taking over?
I don't know. You gotta really ask Jay that. I never, like, the thing is, I know Jay before he had a record deal. You know what I'm saying? I was outside, I'm sure the Jay-Z house and all this stuff, whatever him and Dame was doing, whatever. I've known Jay-Z for years before he had a record deal. Jay-Z came to my block and battled Big L on my block. You know what I'm saying? So, you're right. I don't really know where the tension stemmed from because we was cool, but it was tension, and I don't really know.
And maybe that was because Dame, or it didn't have nothing to do with you.
I think is we came in there moving too fast without talking to him about shit, which we probably should have because it's his label as well. But like I told you, we came in there and had offices to where, and no disrespect to nobody else, but the other artist who was there was like, how the fuck they get an office? We been here since, what the fuck going on? They got offices not knowing that we bullied the offices.
Right, you just
nobody gave us these offices. We made these offices. Yeah. So other artists might have been like, fuck is niggas, fuck they got an office. Now mind you, Rockefeller was cool, but yo, all right, cool, where Kaiser at office at? He over this shit. Let's go to Kaiser office. Yo, see, sit in front of Kaiser office until further notice. You know what I'm saying? Serious. Guys will tell you, yo, we're Kevin Loud, yo, Kel, what's up, Yo, we gonna get familiar with the niggas they doing business with. You understand? That's like, and I'm not saying it was no cheating, no shit like that, but we knew we had good music. So, yo, Kaiser, what's up? Push the button on this old boy shit. You see, I got it rocking in fucking Urban. You see niggas Flex playing this shit every night. Yo, push the fucking button. All right, Cam, let me see what we can do. All right, cool. He gonna be here. He gonna follow you around till you figure it out. Motherfucking old boy come out. I mean, Haymon come out. Yo, this shit is a Lionel Richie sample. We go with Kaiser, Ken Lane, you do Z100 and all that shit, right? Yo, Zeke, stay with that nigga. This shit need to cross over to Z100 and all the pop stations. Follow him around till we figure out the pop station. And old boy became the biggest record in Def Jam history. Then Haymon at the time became the biggest record as far as radio in Def Jam history, but you gotta learn who you doing business with. Niggas be signing labels. That's like my problem. And they can just happen automatically. It be work that goes behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to Rockefeller, I was doing all type of other shit that niggas might be like, yo, this nigga's speeding. But I came from a fucked up situation. It wasn't like I was a new artist there. So I think really when Dame offered me the job as president at Rockefeller without authorization from Jay, is when all that shit was like, yo, these Harlem niggas is bugging. You know what I'm saying?
And did you and Jay ever connect after that, or like you kind of lived in separate lives?
Well, you know, there's a situation where, okay, it it was kind of tension in the just off the bat. I come there, you know, I'm coming there, no homo, kissing ass, because I want to.
You want the relationships.
Yeah, with everybody, 100%. So, like, extra nice to niggas. Yo, let's do a song, Freeway, and Bleak, let's do whatever. Let's do Just Play, let's do songs, whatever. And we was workaholics. We didn't leave the studio, you know what I'm saying? So, there was a time, like I said, I used to talk to Jay, like, yo, let's do a song together. He'd be like, all right, we'll get to it, whatever. And we never did nothing, but you could feel tension. So one day, I walked in the studio and he was like, let me talk to you, and we just talked and it was cool. Then we ended up doing a New York City song, cool.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, that shit, let's do a video. He like, yeah, we'll see. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? So it just went kind of.
So he was trying to son you, basically.
I'm not gonna say that, but I don't think it's just me. If you look at Jay, he's just a competitor.
That's what I meant. I meant on the MC thing.
Well, he's gonna give you the feature, and that's like, look,
yeah,
chill. I don't know if I'm gonna do the video.
Well, by the way,
exactly.
Right, we'll see.
And on the competitive, it's not even personal. It's just like
not personal. Like that nigga's just a competitor when it come to this shit, and he don't want nobody fucking with his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you something. When I did my first deal at Entertainment, I was recording, you know, I had like a few songs on the radio or whatever. He came to see Un or whatever one time. And I was like, all right, cool, we spoke or whatever. So we in the studio, he's like, yo, let me talk to you for a minute. I'm like, what's up, bro? What's happening? We gotta talk. He's like, yo, I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't know you was that nice growing up, you know, because we've been around each other. He's like, yo, you nice, my nigga. I didn't know, my nigga. I said, yeah, yo, we could do some shit on my album. This is my first album record. I said, yo, we could do some shit on my album, put together. He's like, yo, I'm not here to lobby for a spot on your album, man.
That is the most wholesome shit.
And I'm like, okay, all right, bro. It's all good, my nigga. Like, I was just.
And by the way,
Brooklyn, Harlem always do have a.
Well, and I was also gonna point this out. That's a generational thing too, right? Like, there is a like right now, everybody work together.
Right, absolutely.
Right in the early '90s, midnight, you owned your zone.
Not just mid-90s, early 2000s. I see 2 Chainz talk about that on one of these shows. And he made a great point. And you know what? Flex was underneath in the comments talking about it that, you know, he was saying, you know, why Atlanta, I can't say verbatim what they was talking about, but they was like, you know, Atlanta artists, if we going to do a song together, we going to do it. Not tomorrow, not next week. You here in the studio now, you in that studio now, we going to do it. New York, and this is what 2 Chainz saying. He was like, New York, when Dipset run it, Dipset run it. Then it's G-Unit run it, G-Unit run it. If this person run it, that person run it. Y'all don't ever let people vibe together. Flex was in the comments. He's like, you know what, that's right, but we going to change that shit. You know what I'm saying? So to your point, you're 100% right with that.
What was it? Jay called you and had you come out. You guys did a show, an appearance with him recently. What was that like?
It was dope. I mean, there wasn't even really no big conversation. Big. Jim called me, and he's like, Jay, won't you come to the concert? I said, I ain't back. Juan called me. Juan's my man too from mad years before all music type shit. He used, you know, he got a lot of basketball teams in Harlem and shit. So I knew Juan probably since I was 14 years old. I used to bust his ass in all type of basketball tournaments and kill his team. Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, I used to kill Juan because he used to play too. Juan used to try and coach and play and all that. And I didn't really know what kind of nigga he was, and I used to disrespect him on the court. And after the game, he'd be like, yo, Cam, you was wild. I'm like, well, I was a nigga basketball player, you know what I'm saying? But I used to destroy his teams. But that's my man. But so anyway, long story short, Juan called me, and he's like, Killer, what's up? And I'm like, nothing. He's like, yo, want to do the show? I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. He's like, I'm gonna put Ho on the phone so we could break the ice. Me and Jay spoke for about 5-10 minutes and caught up for a second. We did the show. We spoke the day after the show, and that was that.
That was legendary.
Yeah,
it was a good thing, man.
It was a good thing, man. It felt really good, man.